talk on the live version. Goddamn, I'm eating like shit these last couple days. Um, don't really like the way I look, but hey, we're gonna run with this. I have been unable. I don't know what happened to my Streamlabs setup, but Streamlabs has gone completely blank on me. Um, I'm gonna have to fix that. I'm gonna have to find a way to uh, fix that. But for now, I'll just stream on my phone. I'll talk to you guys from here. Um, Keep it simple. It just sucks though, because like I like streaming on my PC. It sounds a lot better. It comes out a lot better. Um, there's no buzz. There's no anything like that. But for some reason, Stream Elements has been giving me a lot of trouble lately. Like, dude, every time I open it on my PC, it is just straight up. It just is a white screen. It turns my entire fucking PC white. Mike, it's fucking brutal to see you guys like the Giants can't do anything right. Neither can the Jets. Neither like the Raiders are the only team doing anything right. They found their way to get the number one overall pick. It's just brutal, man. Because I know now Fernando Mendoza is 100% going to be a Raider. There's nothing the fucking Jets could do about it. They couldn't even jump them with the Giants. It is what it is. You know, in 10 years, this is the look of the Jets. Here's the thing. Here's how you know you're going to get a stud quarterback. You're going to get a guy who is fantastic in Fernando Mendoza because it happened with Trevor Lawrence. The Jets always seem to miss out on grade A quarterbacks. Whenever a quarterback whenever the Jets don't get their shot to draft a quarterback, the guy ends up being really good. So you might as well, get his gold jacket ready to go because Fernando Mendoza is going to be a Hall of Famer. Yeah, so I've been doing a bunch of different things. I've been all over the place. I sorry, I just saw a video. Like, hold on, let me regroup here. Connor, what's going on, man? How you feeling about your Buckeyes going into this week? How are you feeling about Ohio State, my man? Um, Forget what I said in my prediction video. Um, I did say I think this is a tough matchup. I think Miami. Listen, Miami's a good football team. They underperformed this year. This is a game Ohio State should win. I just think it's going to be a tough game. I feel like we could bend over Miami. I think Miami's very good. I think Miami's a lot better than, like, the spread is 9.5. Why are critics talking badly about Mendoza as it becomes the Raiders are taking him? I mean, Fernando Mendoza just doesn't move around very well. Like, for this day and age of quarterback, he's really not the prototype of what, like, I feel like more and more the NFL is moving towards the mobile quarterback, and it's not. And Fernando Mendoza isn't completely him. The thing is, Fernando Mendoza is the best quarterback in this draft, like by a mile. Like, it's Fernando Mendoza, and then it's everybody else. I think if there were other years, Fernando Mendoza might not be the number one pick, but he's still very solid. I think he's by a mile the best option, and I wouldn't say he's like. Critics talk about quarterbacks when they're not. There's two guys, in my opinion, ever who are like the can't miss quarterback prospects. Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning, and that's about it. Like, Fernando Mendoza is not Andrew Luck. He's not Peyton Manning. Even like listen, Trevor Lawrence was on that level. Trevor Lawrence was not Peyton Manning. Like, he was like a can't miss prospect, but he wasn't Peyton Manning. He wasn't Andrew Luck. Like, whenever people are not those two, people tend to start to try to pick them apart as much as they can. He's going to be fine, though. Miami's good, but Ohio State is just better. Yeah, Connor, I agree with you. I think Ohio State's a better football team, but I'd be a little bit careful, is all I'm saying. I would be, I wouldn't be uber confident going, like, Miami's a very good football team. They've got the experience with Carson Beck. Their defense is elite. They have an unbelievable defense. But you're right. Ohio State should beat them. They're a better team. But I was surprised by the spread. I'm watching the Falcons game right now, and I'm impressed. The Rams came back. To me, I think the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. Kind of was watching this whole game thinking at some point they got to find their way back, and they did. Tom Brady was not mobile, and he did fine. Yeah, Mike, again, it's a new era of the NFL. I wasn't talking like the last 20 years. I meant the last few years where, like, these teams tend to want their quarterbacks to move around a little more. Tom Brady played in an era and played in the perfect offense for himself where the ball got out as fast as possible. Maybe the Raiders can can make their game plan around that. But you know, like these teams tend to be moving more towards quarterbacks that could become a weapon. You've seen it more and more nowadays. There's still quarterbacks in the league succeeding without the movement, but they'll be fine. You need a mobile quarterback in this day and age. You don't need a mobile. Like, listen, there are quarterbacks that get away with not being mobile. It's just when it's a rookie right off the bat, like, you want the ability to, if your first read's not there, to be able to get out of the pocket. Fernando Mendoza doesn't exactly have that. I still think he's a solid quarterback. I think he's going to be fine. I'm not sitting here trying to tell you that he's a bust by any means because I want him. I want the Jets to have Fernando Mendoza, but it's not going to happen. The Jets are the worst. Okay, OG Cody-san coming in here and hitting me hard. I know. It's a very well-known thing. I am not happy to be a Jet fan. It's the worst fucking thing about me, and there's a lot of bad things about me. Trust me. Being a Jet fan is fucking miserable. I'm very well aware. Yeah, all in all, like I said, I think the Rams quarterback is not mobile. Well, exactly. Some guys get away with it. A guy like Matthew Stafford, that's why I prefaced it with rookie. Like, Matthew Stafford's been in the league so long, he's experienced. He's used to how fast the game is. A guy like that can handle the NFL without being mobile. When you're a rookie, it's a little bit more of a growing pain. But I still think Fernando Mendoza is going to be fine. I'm a Packer fan. Don't feel too bad. Listen, you shouldn't. I don't care. I wouldn't if the Packers sucked. I wouldn't feel bad for you. It says what? It says I don't know what that is. Bengals, Falcons, and Saints play like LeBron, D Wade, and Bosch the second they get eliminated from playoff contention. Goated. I'll take it, man, because my Jets have moved up the draft board. I love it. The Jets are not even fooling around. They're not even testing the waters out there. Lamar Jackson is very mobile, and he hasn't won anything. Again, Mike, it's not cookie cutter. It's not like, hey, you need a mobile quarterback and that. Like, but look at all the quarterbacks that are in the postseason. Like, you look at the quarterbacks, you look at some of the better teams over the last couple of years. The Bills, Josh Allen. The Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. The Eagles, Jalen Hurts. You look at all these teams that have been up in the vicinity of like a potential Super Bowl and in that conversation. Even the Bengals with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow can move around a little bit. Like, these quarterbacks that can move tend to, like, being able to extend the play is big nowadays, especially with how fast and good these defensive linemen are. They need to launch an investigation immediately on the Steelers-Browns game. I mean, the fact that wasn't a pass interference at the end of the game was crazy, but the Steelers played like shit. Pavia is either going to be a complete bust or a future top 5 quarterback, no in between. I want nothing to do with Diego Pavia. Like, a lot of people are comparing him to Baker Mayfield. I see a lot more Johnny Manziel than him. Joe Burrow is just as mobile as prime Aaron Rodgers. Well, prime Aaron Rodgers can move. That's the thing. Aaron Rodgers could move at the time. He was good at getting out of the pocket and extending plays. The thing is, nowadays, when you have a quarterback that can't extend a play, like, that's a disadvantage. Pavia is a man-child. Carter, what's up, man? I don't know. Diego Pavia scares the shit out of me. He gives me Johnny Manziel vibes, like I said. Yeah, I'm saying Burrow's mobility is all right, but it's not in his game. Oh, no. Yeah, no, obviously, go to it. When I talk mobility, I more so mean just the ability to, like, extend a play. I'm not talking you need a guy like fucking Lamar Jackson or else you're fucked. Like, I'm more so just saying, like, having a guy that can, that pressure's coming and he can extend the play for 2 or 3 seconds is big nowadays. It's probably looked at more so nowadays than it ever has been. And that's, like, really the only gripe on Fernando Mendoza that people have. Other than that, I think Mendoza's fine. Yeah, but Pavia just pisses me off. Pavia's super talented. Like, very talented quarterback. I don't know. I'm not sold on him being a great NFL quarterback. I hope he is. I think it would be a great thing. I think having, like, personalities like that in the league is great for the league. Pavia and Mendoza couldn't be more different. They're two completely different people and quarterbacks. Literally, like, opposite sides of the spectrum. It's literally, like, that is a funny, like, to think about, like, if those two guys, like, room together at, like, a quarterback camp. Two completely different human beings. Like, two people raised completely different. Listen, man, Diego Pavia, like these guys are allowed to have a good time. There's nothing against that, but like losing out on the Heisman and having like a whole fucking hissy fit was just very weird, considering he didn't exactly he didn't exactly have a shot. No, I don't think like he. I don't know. Very very odd. That whole thing was very weird. I hate the Bengals so much, can't even get a good pick. Yeah, it sucks. Like it, the Bengals are in that weird middle ground. Like the Jets did that for so long, where they'd be in a spot where they'd be picking anywhere from like 8 to like 12, and that's really the worst place to be in the draft because you never really had a shot to make the playoffs, but you're not going to get anybody good in the draft. It's like that's the miserable middle ground. That's what I was looking for. Those were the two words I was trying to put together in a sentence. I do have to go to bed soon. I was upset. I was trying to fix my computer. My PC has been acting up. I don't know if you saw the last video I made. It took me about 2.5 hours to edit that, which is awful. It should have only taken me like those videos usually only take me 20, 30 minutes to make. But my PC's been running like shit, and I'm trying to fix it right now. So I didn't have the ability to go live on the PC, so I'm hoping to fix it. Everyone glazing Shador for doing absolutely nothing and winning. Yeah, I mean, he really didn't. He didn't lose them the game, but he definitely didn't do anything like. He didn't look great out there. The Shador Sanders thing, like, I can go on a rant about how insane people have been about Shador Sanders. Do I think he's somebody that should, like, he definitely deserves a more of a shot. I agree with that, but like the people that are just so ridiculous about Shador Sanders, like pretending like he's some superstar quarterback already. He's got a lot to work on, but he's got the tools. Listen, he's not a bad. He's a lot better than I expected him to be. But he's by no means. He's got a ton of flaws. Do you think the Raiders trade Max Crosby? I think so. I think they have to. But I need a formal apology on Brock Purdy. I always said was a guy who keeps plays alive and makes them happen. I mean, Brock Purdy looks great. I'll tell you right now, I'm wrong about Brock Purdy. But I'm not wrong about the fact that if Sam Darnold was their quarterback, they probably would have won a Super Bowl a couple years ago. And they might be undefeated this year if Sam Darnold was their quarterback. I still don't believe that I still believe Sam Darnold's a better quarterback than him. He's a Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, Williams merchant. Not a single one of those guys played. I never said he was a merchant of those guys. I said the guys around him were good. I said having Christian McCaffrey around in your offense is very simple. Having a great offensive line makes things a lot easier, but he's played a lot better this year. I still stand by the fact that Sam Darnold, if he was their quarterback, they would be in a much better spot right now. My biggest thing was I felt like they made a mistake. I felt like they picked the wrong guy. But Brock Purdy's been very good. He's been a lot better than I thought he was. Matt Stafford just blew the game. Yeah, that was a wide open. Oh my God. They are getting looks here. Brock Purdy is better than who? Darnold? No shot. We need to talk about Tyler Shaw. That dude is good out there. Tyler Shuck is phenomenal. He looks so good, and like he's taken massive strides this year so quickly in his career. Like I love Tyler Shuck. I think he's gonna be fantastic. Also, Purdy greater than Darnold. Purdy turns up in the clutch. Dude, we'll see in the postseason. I think the Seahawks, Niners see each other in the postseason. I'm taking Sam Darnold. This is unbelievable that like the Rams just had 2 shots of like hitting a receiver down the field. Listen, Sam Darnold's had tough stretches in the clutch. Brock Purdy's never been in the clutch. There's never been a situation where Brock Purdy's been in a clutch situation to have that moment. There goes Stafford's MVP case. The Rams are getting 3rd in their division. No way. Yeah. I mean, Drake May is 100% going to win the MVP. Unless some miracle happens here, it has to be Drake May. Like, there's literally no way you don't give the MVP to Drake May. And it fucking sickens me, too. Like, fuck Drake May. But, did you see the game last night, Fley? I did. That game was incredible. Yeah, listen, if you want to call it like, okay, that was clutch time Brock Purdy. You're right. That was clutch from Brock Purdy, for sure. I still think Sam Darnold's a better quarterback. Seahawks are a bigger fraud than Somali daycares. I mean, dude, you want to talk about that shit? Like, that doc, oh my God. Did Puka Nacua catch that? Oh my, dude, hold on. Hold on. Give me a second and we'll go into that. No way. He fucking caught that ball. Dude, but Ardell, I mean, we want to talk about that shit, the daycares and stuff. That documentary is one of the best pieces of journalism I've ever seen in my entire life by a guy who was just walking around with his phone. Connor, I won't say anything. Dude, Ardell, like I watched that. I sat down and watched that for 40 minutes. I didn't even look at my phone. I was watching on my PC. I was mesmerized by what I was watching. Like, that is one of the craziest things. Looking back on this, like looking back on the fact that Tim Walz was ever on a presidential ticket is so unbelievable because he might be the most corrupt, worst politician in the history. Oh, wait, no. Puka dropped that. He didn't have possession. Never mind. Might be the most corrupt, unbelievably poor politician we have ever had in the history of the United States. Like, it is, and there were some presidents that were bad, whatever you want to go for. That guy, like, I don't know if there's ever been anybody ever worse than Tim Walz. What happened? Goated. Do yourself a favor. Look up Nick Shirley and watch that video because I can't explain it. If you watch it for yourself, it's one of the greatest documentaries, one of the best like investigative journalism pieces I've ever seen, and it's literally some kid with his fucking cell phone. Basically, he uncovered a bunch of fraud going on in the state of Minnesota. Football Fix, what's up? With Somali daycare, Somali healthcare centers. It's crazy. The money ends up in the hands of terrorists. Dude, like, it certainly isn't going to good. And Jocelyn said Tim Walz was good. I mean, listen, a lot of people thought Tim Walz was all right, but he is, dude, he's the worst politician in the history of politicians, in my opinion. You know, the whole shit with, like, I think allowing, like, you know, I'm a big believer of, like, you know, dress however you want, do whatever you want, be whoever you want to be. We shouldn't be having men playing women's sports, and that goes on in Minnesota more than anywhere. And now, like, these Somali daycares, it's fucking unbelievable. It is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Billions of dollars going into funding these fucking daycare centers, funding these healthcare centers that have nothing going on. I heard fraud in Minnesota and thought J.J. McCarthy. Listen, a lot of fraud, even in the football. Tampon, Tim Walz. I mean, if this was stuff we knew about him ahead of time, he would have never, like, like I said, the fact he was on a presidential ticket is fucking mind-blowing. Like, mind-blowing. He's the worst politician of all time. The most, like, it's absolutely fucking ridiculous what's going on. And trust me, goated. If you're looking for something to watch, look up Nick Shirley. It'll be the first thing that comes up. The documentary's probably got 100 million views by now. Absolutely unbelievable what is going on in Minnesota right now. It's a poor look. He let Minneapolis burn to the ground in 2020. Yeah, looking back on it, there are so many things that have gone on in Minnesota under his watch. Like the guy, it's unbelievable that he hasn't been, like, taken out of office yet. Like, and this is something that should get him out of there. Like, and he was on a presidential ticket. He was legitimately, he could have been the vice president of the United States. Like, it's unfucking fathomable that almost happened with a guy who legitimately might be the most corrupt, dumbest politician we've ever had. It's shit like that shouldn't happen. And like, the documentary's so good. Nick Shirley does a phenomenal job. And The fact that there's anybody, the fact that there's even anybody, defending what's going on is crazy. The fact that government blacked out the Epstein files using Adobe is crazy. Dude, that's insane too. Like I said, we've talked about this a million times here, Goated. We're never going to see what's on those files. We're never going to know because there's too many people with power, whether it's and again, people want to make it political. It's the fact that the highest people of society are on that fucking list, and we're never going to see it. To be fair, the victim's name should be blacked out. Yes, 100%. Why are you talking about Donald Trump? Mike, come on, man. I already knew you were going to get upset about this, but of course we're talking about Tim Walz. There's a lot of shitty politicians. Every single politician's a shitty politician. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, well, this guy's good, this guy's bad. It's just that Tim Walz has managed to outdo everybody. Every single fucking politician that has ever been involved in anything. Like, people that live in Minnesota, I'd be sick to my stomach. Yeah, but the few parts they were able to be copy-pasted documents were revealed the blacked out text was not about the victims. True. Jets suck. Thanks, man. I know. I hate being a Jet fan. It's fucking awful. I'd be embarrassed wearing that hat. No, not really. It made you stop and hang out, but no, not at all. I love the Jets. I'm gonna wear this hat every single time. The list was pointless. I mean, it was pointless because we didn't really learn much. Raiders suck worse than the Jets. Sad day. Look, you're gonna get Fernando Mendoza at least. Raiders are just a cancer. Look, the Raiders knowing the Jets, man, honesty is insane. Hey, it is what it is, man. How about the Sabres? Sabres have been playing good hockey. The Sabres are on the longest playoff drought in sports right now, right? They're the only, or it's either the Jets or the Sabres. One of them. But the Sabres are going to make the playoffs before the Jets. They're going to make it this year. Buffalo Sabres, they've been building a little something every year. Rasmus Dahlin's unbelievable. Their forward group is phenomenal. Tage Thompson, Alex Tuck. They got a good roster, man. Sabres are the longest after the Mariners broke. Yeah, I think so. I'm at wit's end with school. What's wrong? Name one good thing Donald Trump has done for you. I mean, I'm not sitting here defending Donald Trump. Well, it was my number one page on YouTube, the end of the year thing. C. White, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Close the border. I mean, listen, he has done a great job. Look, I'm a big believer of, opening the doors to anybody and just not having any. We could go into that for a while. Ardell, I'm with you on that. I think it should be easier for people to get here legally, but there's a lot to talk about. Fley was number 2 behind the Deep 3 podcast. W, appreciate that. What's that jersey? This one? It's a VCU Rams sweatshirt. Shout out to VCU Rams. My mom obviously lives in Richmond. I don't know. Hold on. Let me try that again. I can't speak. My mom obviously lives in Richmond, Virginia. I love mid-major college basketball. I've been to about 4 VCU Rams games. It's a phenomenal time. John Rothstein says it. A trip to the Siegel Center is like 10 days in Europe. More life-altering than 10 days in Europe. Open the borders, end entitlements, just a thought. There's a lot. Fley was a JV hoop star. He's lowered gas prices. I mean, look, the economy's certainly shitty. It's been shitty no matter what. But the gas prices have certainly gone down. That's a good one to point out. But also, that isn't exactly on the president either. Fley lowers the gas prices. I've been trying. Fley was a JV hoop star. People forget sometimes. My newest long form video just 1.8K views and 50 likes. I'm kind of shocked. Long form? You made a long form video that got 1.8K likes? That's huge. I mean, 1.8K views? That's big. Better than the Biden administration? Well, the problem was listen, it's neither one has been great. Let's be real. Anyone who says open the border has no clue the evil in the world and has never traveled it. See, Ardell, I know you've seen a lot, so I defer to you for a lot of things. 9 minutes. Goated. That's great, man. 1.8K views is phenomenal. I think the most I ever got on a video was only like 800. What's Fley's most points he scored in a game? Um, I scored 37 in a rec league game when I was in high school. Like, so we had like obviously we had like high school ball, but then we had our like local rec league that like everybody played in. It was the biggest thing ever. To me, it was like to us, it meant more than like our actual high school team. Like it was called the Eaton's Neck League, right? Scored 37 my senior year in a game, but like when I was in high school, like the rec league was grades 9 through 12. So I happened to play against a team. It was a bunch of like 10th graders who I physically dominated, and that's how it went. Is what it is. Mendoza will be a bust. Do you think so? Listen, it was a rec league game, an actual like high school basketball game. I scored I scored 16 in a game. I was a 3-and-D guy. Like my coach would tell me if I was inside the 3-point line, I was too close. I had one game where I got hot. I had 16 in a high school basketball game. Rec league, I had 37. Draft O-line. I mean, you can never go wrong with offensive line, but the Raiders need a quarterback, and Fernando Mendoza is the best one in this draft. I don't necessarily think he's a shoe-in to be a great quarterback, but 16 is good for a high school game. Varsity? Yes. I apologize to Cooper Flag. I was wrong. Like, yeah, see? Yeah, go ahead. We can agree to disagree. See, we're not always right, but Cooper Flag's been unbelievable. I severely underestimated how physically imposing the dude is, and he's also an amazing passer. He just, like, he has the game on, like, it's like on a string, dude. It's unbelievable. He's phenomenal. Like, man, like, I love Coop. My daughter just had 13 rebounds and 7 steals in a junior high game. Damn, that's sick. Oh, yeah, Cooper. That's the thing. Cooper Flag, I think one of the things people underestimate about him is how good he is of a defender. Like, he was the highest rated defender his 1 year in college. He's only going to get stronger. He's only going to get more physically imposing. I think he's going to be a stud for a long time. He finally found his jump shot. It felt like the first couple games, like he was kind of just like trying to play within the offense. And somebody must have talked to him. Jason Kidd must have like slapped him across the face and was like, "Hey man, like cut that shit out. Like start playing basketball." Prayers to the third greatest basketball player ever. Oh yeah, Nicole, that's such a shame that Jokic went down. Like, ugh, that would be so bad for the league. Mendoza was going to the Jets, you'd be saying he's the greatest thing ever. No, I've been pretty adamant that like I don't think Mendoza's a guarantee, but I think by a mile he's the best quarterback in this draft. I think it's him and then everybody. Flag stopped taking threes too. Yeah, he started driving to the basket a little more. His 3-point shot will develop a little bit. Like he can shoot, but he's just like it's not the best part of his game right now. And those are the Jets would be beautiful, typical Jets. I mean, like I said, I think he's the best quarterback in the draft, but I also think that's like because the quarterback class is not very good. Can't wait for Tyler Sports to go Rams. What happened? Oh, I mean, the Rams, I don't know what they're doing, man. Like, I still weirdly believe in them. I don't know why. I probably should start believing a little more in the Eagles, huh? But, guys, so I've been doing a lot of different things. I don't know if I told you guys, I didn't post it or anything. I might have said it on the stream. I started a Wrestling with Flay channel where it's just been me playing WWE SmackDown Shut Your Mouth from back in the day. When I originally started this channel, that's what I did. Honestly, that's what I played. But I made a whole channel to do it because like I started playing my PS2 again. Like I might as well post this shit. So another little endeavor I got going on where it's just me playing old WWE games. That's really more for fun. I don't really expect it to be anything. So we'll see. Flag is the second best teenager basketball I've ever seen. He's lapping Kobe. I mean, goated. I know you're doing that to piss me off, but like, come on, dude. You got to put LeBron James in there. PS2, yes, the old PS2. I got my PS2 hooked up to a capture card so I could stream it. I guess LeBron James wasn't great as a teenager. Goated, I just reread what you said, and I apologize for what I just said because you are correct. I think those guys had better years as teenagers. You're right. You're right. I'm wrong here. LeBron James kind of took off when he was like 22, when he dominated the Pistons. I'm wrong. I read that wrong. Yeah, go ahead. I read that wrong. Literally, I said it before you because you said it again. Yes, LeBron James. Sorry. LeBron was insane as a teenager. You know what like? I'm thinking LeBron. Okay, I read it again. LeBron James was nuts. Yes, LeBron James came into the league. LeBron James could have been playing in the NBA when he was 16. Mind me, you put LeBron above MJ, huh? Yes, I do have LeBron above MJ. Here's the thing. LeBron, the longer LeBron plays, I think he needs to retire just because, like, he's not the same LeBron James. He clearly, like, age is finally catching up to him. Father Time is undefeated. Like, he can't be playing basketball anymore. He's not the same guy. Would you rather be obese or skinny with an eating disorder? Ooh, that's a great question. Skinny with an eating disorder. Yeah, goated. I misread that entirely. But I remember, like, LeBron James, like, dominating the dynasty Detroit Pistons when he was 22 years old was insane. I'm just talking about 18, 19-year-olds in the NBA. Flag was better than Kobe, Garnett, and McGrady, only behind LeBron. Yeah, I completely read what you said, goated. Like, completely wrong. You're right. Yeah. I mean, LeBron James was like, Cooper Flag was another one that probably, he could have got drafted out of high school. Like, he only went to college because he seemingly, like, it was either that or the G League. Would you rather have a chode or pencil dick? I don't know. It's a great question. Chode or pencil dick? I mean, I feel like the pencil dick, like, the chode is one of those things, like, I feel like that's a little bit more of a turnoff, I would think. I don't know. Not that I know. Dude, he looked washed earlier this year, but I don't know how to explain it. He's looked really dead. I mean, he's been playing better basketball. He's obviously not the same LeBron James, but he's playing basketball better to the point where, like, he's not a liability by any means. Like, he was never a liability, but, like, he's still, like, a guy that could play at a high level. He's just not LeBron James from the past. It is what it is. Would you rather be fat or have a fat wife? I'll be fat. I don't know. She can figure it out. She can stay in shape. I'll be the fat guy. No, I'm kidding. Listen, I would never do that too. I would never get fat on my wife. Would you rather have AIDS or genital herpes? Oh, I don't think I'd rather have either. I think Braun's averaging 27, 7, 7 since his 8-point game. Is he really? Damn. All-star numbers at 40. It's still crazy how good he is. Like, at his age, for him to be as good as he is crazy. He's just not LeBron James. Luka is the problem on the Lakers. All the dude does is complain to the... I mean, he doesn't play any defense. Would you rather have a fat wife or live in Philly? Ooh, fat wife, 100%. The problem with Philly is that, like, any wife you're going to have is fat. No, I'm kidding. There's plenty of beautiful women in Philly. Would you rather give it or take it? That's an easy answer. I would much rather give it. I hate having lung disease. What kind of what do you have, Connor? I'm gonna probably be live for like 5 more minutes and then I gotta go to bed. I am so fucking tired. I hate that I can't give you guys a live on my PC. I think I was telling you guys earlier. I have to like clean out the whole thing because like it's just been acting up on me. I have asthma. Damn. That sucks. I know a lot of people that have asthma. That's miserable. Luka's the worst complaint I've ever seen. I love the dude as much as a player, but JJ Redick needs to sew his mouth shut. Send him to 2 to 3 years Dagestan. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know. Luka Doncic, he's an unbelievable basketball player. He's having a great year, but you're right. He's always complaining about something. I agree with you there, C-White. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'd rather, dude, Nate, what the hell? I'd rather, I don't know how to answer that without looking bad either way. Random, but Party Supreme is insane movie of the year. That movie came out of nowhere, but I'm gonna have to go see it. I've also heard that movie Housemates is pretty good. I know a lot of people that went and saw that, but a couple good movies out at the same time. Dude, I'm so fired up for New Year's Eve. You know what I'm doing for New Year's Eve this year? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Zero. And I can't wait. I'm going to be sitting right here watching the college football playoff. I'm going to count the ball down from my own fucking couch, and I can't wait. Got to make these moments memorable. They're short. Listen, I appreciate it, Nate. Anaconda with Jack Black is also pretty funny. I didn't even hear of that movie. Luke also takes the lowest percentage threes ever. 32%. Yeah, he is always stepping back from like the logo. You're right. But guys, I am gonna hop off for the night. Tomorrow night I will have a much longer live. It's just I was doing so much shit with my PC. Wendy's Chili Challenge. That was a hell of a fucking time. Maybe New Year's Eve. I'll be live like after the new year. Like I'll be live tomorrow. I want to get back to doing these lives more. Like I said, I like doing them for my PC, and I just need to clean the thing out so it can run better. Stream Elements has been giving me trouble. Also, guys, please check out my Wrestling with Fley channel. It's just at Wrestling with Fley. Bunch of wrestling stuff there. It should be fun. Have a good night. You should definitely go on that Robin Tug New Year's Eve. I might get a deal.